Welcome back to our end of session markup for London and New York, 13th of July on a Thursday. So what do we have here? A daily chart. And just to show you that we had the daily, incidentally, the 4H and the daily boss was at the same place. And we've had a considerable push, right? So yes, the market right now is, overextended. We are anticipating a pullback anytime. But, it could have started the pullback over here. It could have started the pullback over here. It could have started the pullback over here. But incidentally, it's just been creeping up. And not much information to play around with here outside of the fact that it's just been a bullish market, bullish order flow, not much going on. Let's go to 4H. So what do we see on 4H? We came in this morning on a Thursday at this point in time, this leg here. And since then, the price has been just bullish. Again, we've had the 4H boss also. We've had the 1H boss, which was right here. But there has been absolutely no pullback. You can see. I mean, I wouldn't classify this as a pullback on the 4H. For me, this is just a corrective move, and it's just one big push. And you can imagine all the liquidity sitting right below this, ready to be taken once that pullback commences. Let's look at 1H, and let's look at some trade ideas, possible trade ideas, and a big lesson learned for us. So Wednesday, Thursday here, there. Okay, so at this point in time, what's going on? We were anticipating, so this is the daily supply way over to the left on this side. And what we are anticipating is that because we've had, let me just zoom this out, a daily boss here, a 4H boss here, we are anticipating a pullback. And for me, I thought, looking at the left, obviously these old supply zones provide a reaction point, but could be the trigger for that pullback to start. But this, over the course of the day, completely got wiped out, right? And we've had this supply yesterday that got wiped out, gave us a new demand. We have the 4H chalk over here. So if I look at the 4H all the way over here, so it's a long ways away even for the fractal to happen. And then the 1H chalk is where at this point in time, it's all the way down here. So unless 1H chalk does not happen or a 4H chalk does not happen, there is really no indication on the price is ready to move downwards, because the first thing that has to happen is this, right? Apart from the fact that the 15-minute will have to switch bearish as well. We are highly in the premium zones, so perfect for sell opportunities. But when will that sell come? Instead of predicting, we just wait for the market to tell us. Now, the biggest lesson it is today is how attached are you to your bias, right? So we know, and we've been talking about that there is going to be a pullback commencing, right? We know that. And at this point in time, after the break of structure, we are constantly anticipating for that pullback to start. When will that pullback start? When will that pullback start? And the problem is that we get so tied up with that anticipation that we completely ignore or become blind to what the market is telling us. And I am also a victim of this today. I was so focused, and my bias was shorts all day, trying to anticipate when is that change in direction, change in character, when is that chalk going to happen on 15-minute and 1 hour, that I completely missed the fact that the order flow is continuously bullish. And the biggest lesson is that after a boss, you always, the market can continue in the direction for an extended period of time until it decides to do that pullback. And it will tell you when it's doing that pullback. And I missed many opportunities today for good returns because the order flow was bullish, and I just failed to recognize it, thinking or being fearful of the fact that it's just going to turn around on me anytime, right? So if I were to look at this point in time right here, yeah, I will zoom that out. When we came in this morning, there was a beautiful 15-minute entry. Let me go back and highlight where this was. Right here. So at this point in time, what is happening, right? So this was right at the open of the markets. What happened? price, this was Frankfurt Open, right? So what happened? Price came back, right? The chalk was on 15-minute all the way over here. But the order flow, the structural row was here, and this was the last demand zone that was supposed to hold, right? So let me draw that out for you guys. So let's say this is the demand zone right here. 15-minute. The price took some liquidity out. So let's say this liquidity was taken, and this liquidity was also taken right here. Both of these were taken. Yes, so this is a key aspect of entry, for my entry at least, that there has to be some level of liquidity that has to be swept or taken. So this was a 15-minute structural low that was taken that did produce higher highs. Same with this one. So both of them were taken, and we had an aggressive push out. The last shock that happened was right here, so at this line. So this would be your 15-minute chalk right there, and the entry would have been right there. So if we took that candle to the end, we would have had a perfect entry at this point with some gap over here for 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever have you. And once this broke, I would have been broken even. And even, look at this, right? So even with a giant stop loss size, like this is, we're talking 17, 18 pips, you're still able to bag almost a 5-hour trade. And if you were to just leave it running, almost went to 6-hour, right? So, I mean, guys, the point being now is, yes, we are anticipating that the market is going to pull back, but that anticipation is keeping us from looking at what the market is telling us. And in this case, the market is clearly telling us that the bullish order flow is maintaining itself. All key demand zones are holding, and none of them are breaking. We had a beautiful entry here. It swept liquidity. We had the chalk, and there was an entry model. But again, I was blind to this. I was monitoring this because I wanted it to fail. I wanted this zone to fail, and then I would have gotten a short in here. But it did not fail, and I did not quickly adapt to what the market is saying. Okay. So we'll talk to you later tomorrow, guys, with the pre-analysis for London, New York on Friday. Take care, guys. Bye-bye now.